Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Liberty-Eylau Baseball. Chuck, Zach, and Frank Sides coming at you live this afternoon via not only the broadcast on 107.1, but also on Texarkana Game Day, as we've got the second game of our Class 3A Region 2 final series. Liberty-Eylau Leopards taking on the Gunter Tigers. Leopards number 1 in the state, Tigers number 3 in the state, and last night's game was a stressful, nail-biting affair for about the first 4 or 5 innings before the Leopards took control. We're going to get a little bit of a repeat today as Tristan Howe, who started yesterday's game, gets to start again today for Liberty-Eylau. Howe went just 1/3 of an inning, gave up 1 run, no hits, but he could not find the strike zone. 4 walks in that first inning. He only used 19 pitches, and as a result, Zach Fowler says, I'm putting him back out there. He's my one. He's going to start again today. Here's the lineup for the Gunter Tigers. They are the visiting team today. Brock Body is going to be leading things off. He's their shortstop. Jordan Villagrana, the second baseman, is going to hit second. Batting third will be kind of the surprise pitcher, Jake Ivey. We'll talk about him later on. Jarrett Wagner is in center field. He's hitting fourth. Jackson Wagner at first base is hitting fifth. Batting sixth is Carson Williams, the catcher. Hitting seventh is the DH, Blake Boland. Right fielder, Braden Nelson's batting in the 8th spot, and cleaning things all the way up at the bottom, Parker Alaman, he is the third baseman. And that is the starting lineup for the Gunter Tigers. They're in their blue tops with the white pants today. And starting things off, Brock Body will lead things off against Tristan Howe. Leopards defensively, just like they started last night. Eli Jarvis at first, Maddox Moore at second, Britton Pipes at short. Over at third is Dylan Neighbors. Out in left field is Will Tipton. Colin Evans is in center. Arian Taylor is in right field. Behind the plate, Gabe Jarvis. And the right-handed senior, Tristan Howe, with a quick delivery on a 1-0 pitch. Moore down to his knee, gets up, makes the throw across, and Brock Body is retired on 2 pitches, and there's 1 away.
Excellent start to this one for this young man. Let's get him settled down with a couple weekly hit ground balls, throw strikes, and see if we can squeeze a couple innings out of him.
Howe said this afternoon when I talked to him, what happened? He said, just could not find the strike zone, could not find the home plate umpire zone. He said, I felt fine, just could not find it and got frustrated. There's 1 away, and here's the number 2 hitter. That is the second baseman, Jordan Villagrana. In the first pitch, he checks, and it's out of the zone for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Leopards in their home whites with the red pinstripes. This one, ground ball right toward shortstop. Britton Pipes with it, throws on the money, and there's 2 away after 4 pitches. And what a great start so far for Tristan Howe, who needed a confidence-building first inning, and so far he's got the first 2 batters out on routine grounders in the infield.
Yeah, if you're going to draw it up, that's the way you draw it up. Just a reminder, our crowd mic today is directly above the Gunter fans, so apologies early.
That ought to be fun. First pitch outside for ball 1. Jake Ivey up there now. Ivey was 1 for 2 yesterday with a couple of walks. Hitting from the left side, and that one inside for ball 2. Gunter had 4 hits yesterday. They didn't get any off Tristan Howe. Those came off of Dylan Neighbors, who came in and basically was the MVP of that game for the Leopards. 6 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs. Just one of them earned. Walked 4 and struck out 4, but went the entire rest of the way. Zach Fowler didn't have to burn any other pitchers, and he sets this thing up now with Howe getting a chance to close out the series. 2-1 now. This one swung on and fouled barely. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Jake Ivey.
In case you're wondering, the wind exactly the same as yesterday, except dialed up a notch. We got a 4-club wind, Chuck, out to left field.
Yeah, it's really picked up. It's supposed to be gusting around 21, and it looks like maybe more than that. Here's a pitch way high, and it's a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. It's about 92 degrees here at Nevada's Community High School. Wind blowing out to left field, and it is blowing out dramatically. There's ball 4, so wasn't even close on the last 2, and you get that little bit of doubt out of Tristan Howe. It's not that he missed the strike zone, like where is it? It's he missed it badly on the ball 3 and 4 pitches. So runner gets on. Jarrett Wagner comes up now. Wagner yesterday went 0 for 3. Wagner is their big guy with 15 doubles and 53 runs batted in the year. He's hitting .417.
Number 6 is going to run for him. Here we go. Down at first.
Cam Doty, our favorite courtesy runner. Howe ready. Here's the first pitch to Wagner. This one swung on and missed for strike one.
Good fastball up in the zone.
Arian Taylor playing fairly shallow out in right. And Will Tipton, I almost think, probably needs to back up a couple more steps in left. This one's popped up in the air. Eli Jarvis putting a glove up to shade his eyes. Instead, it's Howe that calls him off. He'll grab it in foul territory for the third out of the inning. And Tristan Howe survives the first and gives up nothing. No runs. There was one walk, no hits, and one man left on base. Leopards coming to bat when we return. Bottom of the first scoreless here on 107.1 and Texarkana Game Day.
Hello, Texarkana. This is Ben Watts with Texline Card House. We would like to invite you down to play some cards and meet some new friends here on Gibson Lane. We are right next to the door to Lost Pizza. We're excited to announce our Southern Stack tournament that will run from July 30th to August 3rd. We have free rolls, no limit hold'em cash, pot limit Omaha cash. We have 5K guarantees and 1K guarantees. You name it, we got it. We'd love to see you come out and see us at Texline. We are the best little poker house in Texas. Hello, Texarkana.
All come together.
One quick reminder, this one brought to you by Farmers Bank and Trust. Tony Langford Roofing. Los Ruval Calba with 2 locations, one on Texas Boulevard and one over on 59. And Texas Texline Card House. We appreciate you guys for going out of your way and helping us get this on air for the folks that couldn't make it down here. We need your help, Texarkana. If we're going to keep doing this, the further and further these teams go, the further and further these distances are. Kids deserve it. We really appreciate you guys for stepping out there and helping us do this here on Texarkana Game Day.
We return to Liberty-Eylau Leopards baseball on 107.1 KTFS.
All right, welcome back. Chuck, Zach, Frank Sides with you live from the home of the Braves, Nevada's Community High School. You want to know where in the world are you? Basically, go to Buc-ee's and take a right and go about 15, 20 miles, and that's where we are.
Get past the cornfields, and it's on your right.
There you go. Beautiful complex here. We got a outstanding ballpark. It's 325 down the lines, 365 to the alleys, 385 to straightaway center with an elevated wall that probably goes, I'm going to guess, 12, 15 feet, something in that neighborhood.
I had to climb it a few times. I can confirm it's a little bit taller.
Well, maybe on the other side, where you on the field side, it's all right. Yeah. All right, leading things off. Here's the Leopard line. The Britton Pipes is going to bat first, the shortstop. Batting second, Eli Jarvis. Tristan Howe batting third. Center fielder Colin Evans will hit fourth. It'll be Dylan Neighbors, a third baseman, hitting in the 5 spot. Gabe Jarvis, the catcher, hitting 6th. Cade McLeod, the DH, batting 7th. Maddox Moore at second, batting in the 8th spot. And Arian Taylor is batting 9th. So it's Pipes, Jarvis, Howe, Evans, Neighbors, Jarvis, McLeod, Moore, and Taylor for Liberty-Eylau. First pitch called strike to Britton Pipes. Pipes 2 for 5 last night. The pitch is down low, 1 ball, 1 strike.
As far as those dimensions, Chuck, I think that 325 to left is probably going to play more like 275 today. But that's not the Leopards' game.
Here's the 1-1 fastball high and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. On the mound for the Tigers is sophomore Jake Ivey. Left-hander is 5-0 on the year. This is his 8th start of the season. That one a called strike, 2-2 now. 25 innings, 16 hits. He's given up 4 runs, 13 walks, and 47 strikeouts with a 1.10 earned run average. And again, a bit of a surprise he's gotten the start in Game 2. We all were looking at maybe seeing Jarrett Wagner, the center fielder, who's got a 12-0 record with 12 starts this year and lost a start. But he doesn't get the start here in Game 2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Pipes. This one tried to check it up, got a piece of it, and it goes into the catcher's glove for the strikeout in the first out of the inning.
And if for some reason that young man is available and they're holding for Game 3, that makes Game 2 a must-win almost for the Leopards.
Yeah, that's a great point. Maddox Moore would probably get the start for LE, have to face Wagner.
But we don't know. Just questions we cannot ask.
That's right. Fastball inside to Eli Jarvis. Last night, Eli 0 for 2, but he had a walk and reached on a error and got a couple runs. This one, a topper in the infield. Ivey's got it. His throw off the bag at first base, and it'll be an infield single for Jarvis, or you could call it an error on the pitcher. Either way, an accurate throw may have gotten Jarvis. So off the mark probably makes that an error on Jake Ivey. Either way, Leopards have a runner on with 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Gunter 35-3 on the year. Liberty-Eylau 33-4. Leopards won game 1 last night, 8-3. As Gunter left the bases loaded in the first, second, and third innings. He could get just 2 runs last night in those 3 innings. Pitch on the way. That's a called strike to Tristan Howe. And talk about hot. Howe didn't last long on the mound, but he was 4 for 4 swinging the bat yesterday with 3 runs batted in.
And something to think about early in the game when you're facing a lefty you've not seen before. You don't know what kind of move he's got, so you got to see it a few times before you get in trouble out there.
I'll tell you what, he's got a great breaking ball.
I was just about to say, I've seen 2+ pitches. One's a good 4-seamer, and then that 1-7 curveball. It looks like we're going to have our hands full here.
And Jarvis being very careful because Ivy does have a deceptive move. So far, he's leaned back toward the bag. He takes off this time. How about Howe? He's going to get this one down into the gap. It's going to roll for a long time. Center fielder just now getting it. Jarvis around third. He's going to score. Here comes Howe trucking his way into third for an RBI triple. And Tristan's 5 for 5 in this series with 4 runs batted in. And Liberty-Eylau jumps on the Tigers early, 1-0.
These darn Leopards, Chuck. Just unbelievable. Down 0-2, fights it off into the right center field gap, and they're shading to left field, ends up with an RBI triple. Could have got in there standing up. The young man's been on one this series.
He's going to come out and sit down since he's going back to the mound. Ivan Banks is going to run at third base for him. So here's Colin Evans with an RBI chance.
And a good one. Really just need to put something in play here unless you hit it weakly to an infielder.
And look at how Gunter is playing this. Infield in already with the bottom of the first in a 1-run ball game. They're going to run the risk of potentially making this be a bigger inning to try to keep the run from scoring at third.
Yeah, and from what we've seen with this kid's stuff and delivery left on left, this is a tough spot for this young man at the plate. If he can get a bunt down here, probably scores a run, but it's easier said than done.
Daryl Hellman rolling the dice for Gunter, their head coach. Pitch on the way. This one fouled back. Leopards have John Stilson coaching in the first base box. Ricky Rushing over at third. Of course, Zach Fowler, the head coach. Rick Fowler, the bench coach. Count now 0-2 to Colin Evans. Evans yesterday went 0 for 3. Pitch on the way. He gets a piece of this one out in front of the plate, and it will go foul last second as Ivan had to do a little ballet move to avoid a collision with the catcher, Carson Williams.
That was close, and it's relatively rare at this level that your head baseball coach isn't on the field at all when you're at the plate. Just kind of goes to show you how much trust he has in these assistants in this program.
And from talking to Zach over the years, he just sees the game better from the bench than he does from the third base coach's box.
Might very well be the best high school baseball coach in the state. You ask half the crowd here, it's an easy yes.
No balls, 2 strikes. Pitch to Evans. Gets this one into the glove of the third baseman. And how about they got the rolling of the dice, and it came up 7s for Gunter. Line drive right to the third baseman. Aleman just about 5 steps off the bag at third. Gets back there before Zyvan Ken, and that will end the inning. A double play to end it. But the Leopards pick up 1 run on 1 hit. There was 1 error, and nobody left on base. We're at 1-0 after an inning. Take a quick timeout. Back in 60 seconds here on 107.1 and Game Day.
We are excited to announce here at Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital that we have expanded our capabilities to better serve our community. As a hospital, we have the capability for inpatient services. After your outstanding emergency care, we can smoothly transition you into one of our new inpatient rooms that have telemetry monitors in every room to continue your concierge medicine care. While our patients continue receiving their care in their inpatient suites, we also make sure that your loved ones are taken care of with our outstanding facilities. Our added services include a procedure room and also the capability of MRIs. With our imaging, we are able to offer outpatient, inpatient, and emergency room, MRI, CT, ultrasound, and X-ray. We are honored by your support and look forward to serving all your future medical needs.
All right, welcome back. Top of the second inning, it'll be number 5 hitter Jackson Wagner leading things off against Tristan. Now first pitch swinging, grounder to Pipes. Comes up waist high, his throw to first, bounces in there, but Eli Jarvis digs it out for the put out, and there's one away quickly here in the second inning, and Tristan is getting ground balls and not getting deep into counts. He had the walk to Ivy. Other than that, couple of pitches out. Here's Carson Williams, the catcher now. Williams yesterday was 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored.
Little two-seamer didn't make its way back to the outside corner. Good pitch, though.
1 ball, no strikes. This one, fastball, comes with a little bit of a tail to it, and it's in there for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Williams. Blake Bolin, the DH, is waiting on deck. Here's the 1-1 from Howe. Fastball, little in and up. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Gunter with 3 losses this year. 1 back on February the 28th. 1 in the first game of the regional semis to Hughes Springs. And 1 last night to Liberty-Eylau. Here's the 3-1. Missed a little outside, ball 4.
And we mentioned it last night, or at least I did. For all intents and purposes, Chuck, this could very well be the state championship series.
You're putting a lot of pressure on this.
These are probably the 2 best teams in the state.
Putting a lot of pressure on this, Frank.
Well, I mean, spend a lot of time here. We need as many people watching as we can get. Speaking of that, click share. Let's get as many eyes on these young men as we can possibly get. They've absolutely earned that right.
Here's Blake Bolin up now. He's DHing today. 0 for 3 yesterday with a walk and a strikeout. And Howe misses wide for ball 1. Runner at first. Not a dramatic lead over there. Howe not paying any attention. Comes right to the batter and gets him on the outside corner for strike 1. Winner of this gets the winner of the Region 1 finals, Iowa Park and Holiday. Holiday won game 1 3-1 yesterday. This one hit in the air to center. Colin Evans froze for a second, and as a result, he doesn't get a good jump on it. Over his head, runner falls down between second and third. They got a chance to get him, and Moore's throw goes offline and hits the fence in front of the dugout. Well, the Leopards had a couple of chances. First, Colin froze on the ball that was hit, and it went over his head, and then Carson Williams, actually whoever was running for him, I think, fell down between second and third. They got the ball to Britton Pipes, but the throw was off the line and went wide of Dylan Neighbors at third base, and so runners are standing at second and third with 1 away on the first hit off Howe today. Yeah,
and he had more time than he thought he did and just rushed that. Could have been a big break there for the Leopards, but instead, Gunter's got some men in scoring position with less than 2 outs.
Braden Nelson, the right fielder, up now. Nelson 1 for 4 yesterday. Ground ball. This is towards short. Pipes backing up. Will go to first base, and they'll get the out there. Now they're going to try to go second and third. That ball hits the bag and goes into the foul area, and a second run's going to score for Gunter.
Wow. Wow. A lot like yesterday, just weird things happening early, Chuck.
2-1, Gunter takes a lead. We'll start with the ground ball. Pipes, probably in the way the Leopards played that exactly right. You go get the out, you don't let a bigger inning happen. The mistake, I think, was Jarvis going back across the infield where it looked like that runner was already in there. And so we've got a 2-run inning so far for the Tigers. Bases are empty with Parker Alamon up. And Howe misses, and the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. You know, that was the break that Gunter needed, and they got about 3 breaks in this half inning.
Yeah, that ball to center field, man, that's line drive with this wind right into the sun. He's staring. It's just a tough play.
2-1 pitch. Ground ball again to Pipes, charging. Gloves it, on the run, on the money, inning over. However, Gunter picks up 2 runs. There was 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. Bottom of the second coming up. Tigers with a 2-1 lead over the Leopards when we come back here on 107.1 and Texarkana Game Day.
Start your day with seamless transactions. Add your State Bank card to your device's digital wallet and enjoy the convenience of tap-and-go payments. Easy, secure, and thankfully at your fingertips. Simplify your day with State Bank's digital wallet.
Your family, your bank, State Bank.
Big time shout out to our sponsors for this one: Farmers Bank and Trust, Tony Langford Roofing, Los Ruvalcaba with 2 locations, one on Texas Boulevard and one over on 59, and the Text Line Card House. We really appreciate your support. Go by those businesses, let them know you appreciate them doing what they're doing to help us here. We have Chuck. Be back here in just 1 second.
Brought to you by Liberty-Eylau ISD.
All righty, welcome back. Bottom of the second. Gunter with a 2-1 lead over Liberty-Eylau in a messy second inning for Tristan Howe and his Leopards. He got the first out of the inning. He walked the second one, and that's what gets you free passes, get you in trouble. The line shot over Colin Evans' head in center field started the problem, and then a ball that probably should have been an out at third base, which would have made that inning a nothing inning, ended up costing the Leopards ultimately the first of the 2 runs it scored. So we go back to it now here in the bottom of the second. It's Dylan Neighbors to lead things off. Neighbors, Jarvis, and McLeod. 5, 6, 7 for the Liberty-Eylau batting order against Jake Ivey. And the first 2 pitches in there for called strikes. No balls and 2 strikes. Neighbors just 1 postseason hit. He got a double, actually 2 postseason hits. Got a double yesterday, went 1 for 2, and walked a couple times as well. He's got 11 walks in the postseason as Ivy misses wide.
And that is a disgusting curveball that he's commanding with ease early. Just put it where he wants.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Gets him looking. Neighbors with a hard look back at the home plate umpire and some words to be said on the way while he shakes his head no.
Not often you see a front door breaking ball lefty to righty, but that's what happened. Broke back across the plate, would have hit him on the back foot. The catcher wasn't there. Excellent. Almost impossible pitch to hit.
So there's 1 away, and here's Gabe Jarvis coming up now. Gabe yesterday, 1 for 2, couple of walks. Here's a pitch to him. That's a fastball in there for a strike. Jake Ivey works quickly. Big left-hander. Breaking ball almost got Jarvis, but had a little bite to it. It's a ball and a strike now. The wind just keeps gusting hard toward left. That's one that just misses the outside part of the plate. And now Ivey walks off the mound, thought he had a strike call.
And Chuck, you can't see the screen from over the pitcher's shoulder. It is filthy, that curveball.
2 balls, 1 strike. Ground ball, big hopper to third. Aleman's got it. Throw, bounces, there's a little contact, but the first baseman, Wagner, holds on to it, and there's 2 outs here in the second. Jarvis and Wagner with a little bit of a glancing collision. There's 2 away, and here's Cade McLeod, the DH. McLeod on the year, a .302 hitter. Last night, he was 0 for 3 with a base on balls. Excuse me, let me rephrase on McLeod. He had an RBI, not a walk. And 1 strikeout. Fastball corner, outside strike.
Chuck, that may be flirting with 90 miles an hour. That's a good fastball.
He's got a legit arm. It makes you wonder what Jared Wagner's got if they decided to hold him to game 3.
You said what we were all thinking.
Yeah.
This might be a couple big innings here for the Leopards.
0-2, boy, I tell you what, if I'm the Leopards right now, I'm stepping out a little bit. I'm slowing him down. He is in a groove, and he ends the inning with 2 strikeouts, puts the Leopards down in order here in the second. We're going to go to the top of the third inning with a 2-1 Gunter lead. Quick timeout, back in 60 seconds on 107.1 and on Texarkana Game Day.
Meet Tony Langford Roofing, your trusted name in roofing solutions. Decades of experience and top-notch service. Passionate about your home safety, we treat every roof like our own. From repairs to full installations, we've got your home covered. Upgrade your roof with our variety of styles and materials. For roofs that last long, choose Tony Langford Roofing. We've got you covered.
Welcome back. Top of third about to start. I'll tell you about the sponsors one more time. Farmers Bank and Trust, Tony Langford Roofing, Los Ruvalcaba, 2 locations, one on Texas Boulevard and one on 59. And last but not least, the Text Line Card House. Thank you to all of our sponsors for helping us bring this to you live here on the campus of Nevada Community High School. Frank Sides, Chuck Zach coming right back with us here shortly. To the top of the third.
For Liberty-Eylau Leopards baseball on 107.1 ATFS.
All right, we welcome you back. Top of the third inning, Liberty-Eylau down 2-1. It'll be the top of the order for Gunter, Brock Body, Jordan Villagrana, and Jake Ivey to face Tristan Howe. And it looks like this may be one low-scoring game, the way these 2 pitchers are delivering so far. First pitch, Howe gets a ball call on that, and again, you hear some of the Leopard fans on our crowd mic a little unhappy with that call. They'll get a strike on the outside corner, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Body grounded out his first time up. So you get a grounder to second that Moore smothered, made the throw. This one down low, 2-1. Body a .436 hitter with a .628 on base percentage. And a crazy 52 walks this year. Here's the 2-1. Ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit to lead off the third, right up the box. Yep. Body not only with the 52 walks, but also with 35 steals, so get ready for this cat and mouse. Jordan Villagrana stepping in. He grounded out to short his first time up. Oh, well. Check Body. We'll see how quickly he's going to run. He's got a big lead. Doesn't go on the first pitch, which was an off-speed pitch for ball 1 inside. He takes a very aggressive lead. Here he goes again. And that's throw over this time by Howe. I think the Leopards picked that up, that he had a almost filthy lead to start with the first pitch. Here he goes again, a little bit shorter this time. Now he steps it back out. Pitches a ground ball toward Pipes. They're going to go to second for 1. Moore's relay not in time. They'll get the lead man out. And Villagrana gets on a fielder's choice, and there's 1 away.
Good pitch, weakly hit ground ball, converted to an out. A couple more of those. Let's get this Leopard team back in the dugout.
You'll trade the guy for 35 steals for the guy up there now with 20.
Absolutely. Little change up there.
It's Jake Ivey, who walked his first time up. Whiffs away at 1. Pitch missing wide as it tails out of the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. Villagrana not quite as aggressive with his lead as Body had been. Although he's starting to stretch it back out now as well. Does not go. Pitch inside for a ball, and Howe's got that look of, excuse me?
I can't have the outside. At least give me the inside part of the plate, right?
2-1 the count now. Ground ball towards second. Moore for 1 to Pipes. Relay bounces past Jarvis. That's going to allow Ivey to take a turn, and he'll go to second base, and there's 2 away. Leopards just have not been able to make the good throw to get runners so far in these first 3 innings. They've had a couple of opportunities to get runners out at the bases, and we've got a couple balls thrown away past.
Yeah, I was just about to say, the left side of the infield's yet to get a ball to the first baseman without bouncing it. I don't know if that stiff wind has anything to do with it, but it is blowing that direction about 30 miles an hour at the moment.
So runner at second. Here's Jared Wagner up now. He, in the first inning, popped one foul that the wind grabbed onto and almost brought it back onto the playing field. Cam Doty's going to run now for the pitcher spot. First pitch to Wagner, misses inside. Ball
Catcher
1.
turns around and asks, where was that?
Yeah, the crowd's getting antsy about this, especially having watched the last half inning where it felt like Ivey, rightfully so, got some strike calls. Feels like Howe's not getting them if you're a Leopard fan. Pitch inside, 2-0 now. That one was an obvious ball.
And if you recall, both crowds were on him all night last night. Obviously a different umpire, but
Fastball, that one's there.
don't envy him today.
It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Ground ball. This one tapped foul, third base side. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Jackson Wagner, the younger brother, waits on deck. Jarrett's the senior, Jackson the sophomore.
This is the young man we thought would be on the mound, correct?
Yeah. Here's a pitch to him. Hit in the air. It's going to be weird because of the wind. Neighbors in foul territory, though. Gets it easily, loses the cap, but gets the ball, and that's the inning. So there were no runs, a hit, and a man left on. Leopards trailed 2-1. We'll come back for the bottom of the third, 60 seconds here on Game Day and 107.1.
Sorry you're under the weather, Susie. Here are those loan docs.
Thanks, James. I'm so glad we didn't have to delay this closing.
Tissue?
Thanks.
Secure and safe loan closings, or take care of just about any banking task. Experience the credit union difference. Anytime, anywhere. With RRCU's digital banking. Do you RRCU?
All right, 2-1 Gunter with the lead as we go into the bottom of the third. Quick moving game compared to last night's marathon.
Is there any wood in here?
First 3 innings took forever, it felt like. This one moving along at a pretty rapid pace. We are, what time are we here? My phone was working, I'd know. 3:33, so we've been playing 33 minutes and got 2.5 innings in. Here's Maddox Moore to lead things off. Moore, Taylor, and Pipes, 8, 9, and 1 for Liberty-Eylau. Moore on the year, 295 hitter. Last night went 1 for 3 with a run batted in. Also had a walk. He's battling pneumonia this week. And the first pitch he sees called strike. There was a little conversation between innings. The home plate umpire and Leopard coach Zach Fowler, who I think was making his point about let's see the strike zone work both ways. Here's the 0-1, and now it's 0-2. Jake Ivey working for the Gunter Tigers. This one, a tapping ground ball, third base side foul, and Moore's going to have to come back.
I believe we just saw his third secondary offering. That was a changeup. First one I've seen all night. I might have missed one, but that was a good pitch there. Good job making contact, staying alive.
Maddox going to take his time walking back to the box. I'm saying for the Leopards, stepping out a little bit and slowing the game down a little bit probably helps you against Jake Ivey.
Yeah, and it's hot. Probably helps yourself, too. No reason to sprint back.
No balls, 2 strikes. Ivey ready. Here's the delivery. This one lifted in the right. It's going to get down for a hit as the Leopards have the leadoff man here in the third.
Nice piece of hitting. 0-2. Fought off a good pitch and served a breaking ball he missed his location with right over the second baseman's head.
Or with his second hit of this series, now he's going to have to do a little running at first base. Arian Taylor coming up. Leopards with a leadoff man for the first time today.
And I've got a good feeling about Taylor and his quick hands against this curveball heavy lefty. Don't know why.
Pitch to him. A little bit low, ball 1.
Let him see it a few times.
Arian over 3 yesterday, but he did have an RBI. Picked up a walk as well. Yep, they're leaning back toward first. Ivey's move. Obviously, the Leopards have been coached up about watching Ivey.
It's the first time we've seen it today.
Every base runner has leaned back toward the bag.
And just know he didn't show you the good one there, so hang tight.
Fastball misses, and right now the goal for Moore is make him look at me a little bit. Take a little focus off home plate and get his eyes on me. 2-0 now to Arian. And quick toss over this time, and Moore dives back. Playing here in the bottom of the third. Leopards trailing 2-1. Back to the plate. Fastball. That one's waist high, called strike. 2-1 the count now.
If you're sitting 2-0 fastball, that's a pitch you swing at. I wonder if he's looking for that breaking ball.
A lot of attention on Maddox Moore from Jake Ivey. Back to the plate. This one a big high chopper. Moore's going to be safe at second. Taylor out by about a half step at first base. There was no play for Ivey. That thing stayed up forever. But he does do the job of getting Moore into scoring position.
Took an excellent hard throw. That was going to be a tough play, but he made that look fairly easy. A lot of speed at the plate there.
One away. Britton Pipes up now. Back to the top of the order for Liberty-Eylau.
But the bottom of the order did its job. Runner in scoring position. Only one down here.
Ivey taking a look at Moore. Bunt by Pipes, and it's foul last second. Well, they really want to get that runner over to third base. Taking the top of the order and trying to bunt, and Britton hesitated for just a second. At first he thought, well, that ball's foul. Then he thought, well, wait, maybe it's not. And then it rolled foul anyway. And so here comes the discussion with Gunter's coach about...
Makes you wonder if that was called or if he was bunting for a hit there. Bunt doesn't make a ton of sense in this spot here. You're still going to need a hit or just a, wild pitch. We haven't seen the young man on the mound even come close to throwing. What's going on with the coach there?
Gunter's coach Hellman taking a long time talking to the home plate umpire, and I'm wondering if he may have thought that Pipe should have been out if that ball hit him in fair territory. The home plate umpire says no, and so Britton goes back in the box. 0-1 the count. No bunt this time, but he does pop one foul down the first base line. Britton on the year hitting .255, 8 doubles. Team high 35 runs, and also a team high 25 walks. And what's one more? Team high 12 times being hit by pitches.
I don't think he would mind catching a breaking ball in the elbow here, or the leg.
Well, he's going to ground one toward right field. How about a base hit? Moore holding up at third smartly. Good arm out in right field in Nelson, and they decide we're not going to test and tempt fate here. We'll put runners at first and third and let Eli try to get them in.
It's just that, again, the Leopard DNA, man. They're just scrappy. They don't give away at bats. What an at bat, 0-2, and just serves it in the right field, finds a hole. And here come the Leopards.
So let's see if Ricky Rushing's decision at third pays off as Eli Jarvis steps in. Jarvis reached on an error by the pitcher first time up. Runners at first and third.
Shows bunt. Sorry, Chuck.
No, you're good.
Sometimes I get confused what my job is over here.
And they let Pipes take second long after. And Ivey's asking what just happened here. Nobody said anything, and well, they're all still with gloves up. Shortstop, the second baseman, pitcher, all going, what happened? So Pipes goes to second base on the missed bunt. It's called a strike. Double play is off now, and Zach Fowler's wanting to have a little talk with his guys about what's happening, what's the play he's asking for. Zach yells out his 3-digit number. That's how he communicates with his base runners. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one in there for a strike, and it's 0-2 now.
Go! I don't know what number is a slap single to left field, but I hope he calls that.
Yeah. On deck is Tristan Howe.
Choking up with 2 strikes here.
1 out. Bottom of the third. Leopards down 2-1. Pitch to Jarvis. This one poked foul into the screen behind home plate.
Yeah, and knowing that he's got that curveball in his back pocket, you've got to defend against that. So you're going to be late on the good heater upstairs. Good job fouling it off, though.
Leopards tried to be aggressive in the first, and with Howe at third base, Evans lined into a double play. See how they play this one. Missing on the pitch outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Moore's taking a very aggressive lead at third.
Here we go.
I think they actually want to see if they can draw a throw down there to Alamon. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pipes down at second. Moore at third. Ground ball toward the third baseman. Alamon took a look at home. Instead goes to first. Throw is wide, and they'll be safe at the corners as Maddox ties the game up from third base, and we're all knotted at 2.
Took too long, Chuck.
Hang on. What are we going to do? We got people asking for time. Jarvis dropped a glove. We're all good.
Took a little too long to make his decision, and it cost him. Again, I think that throw directly into that stiff wind is giving him problems.
Now, Alamon made the first look at home to come to the plate and try to get more from scoring. Decided I'm not going to get there in time, and then tried to double clutch and throw to first, and it was just offline.
Yep, Leopards again putting some pressure on the opposing defense as they're wanting to do, and it pays off again. We're back to square one here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, and that gets Coach Hellman out to talk to his guys. So we have one on the mound conversation that features blue and white guys, and one in the foul area at third base that features pinstriped white and red guys.
Yeah, and all the pressure's on this Gunter squad. Although they've only lost 3 games, they've not played in a game like this where the pressure is 100% on them. You lose here, it's over.
Well, you say that, but last weekend they'd lost to Hugh Springs in the first game. They were facing that. They jumped out on top of the Mustangs early, got an 8-0 lead, and had to. Hugh Springs had to try to get themselves back into the game, but they had the pressure of an elimination game last week. They just didn't have to deal with it out of here. They're not even going to mess with Howe. After seeing Howe go 5 for 5, they said put him on first. So bases are loaded for the Leopards here, and it's going to be Colin Evans who's going to be able to try to break this tie.
And I stand corrected, Chuck. They don't pay me to prepare.
No, you just didn't know. You hadn't followed
I was following Pleasant Grove.
Yeah.
I'm joking, obviously. Here we go. Big. This feels like a huge spot for everybody involved.
If you happen to be a Gunter fan watching, you're going to go, wait a minute, we lost last week. We got it. We know. First pitch to Evans, breaking ball, outside corner, strike 1. It's Pipes over at third. At second is Jarvis. At first is Howe, who's going to run for himself in this spot. Pitch to Evans. Swing and a miss, and the count's 0-2. Dylan Neighbors is on deck.
Results-wise, it's irrelevant, but process-wise, I believe the intentional walk was the right play. We'll see if it pays off.
Yeah, that's it. We'll see. Colin Evans can make him pay for it. Here's the 0-2. Ground ball. It's to second base. Run's going to come and score. Leopards take a 3-2 lead. Evans is out at first, but they got the lead. And the runners advance to second and third as Pipes comes in to score from third base, and Liberty-Eylau goes on top 3-2.
Man, another insanely scrappy at bat from the Leopards. Left on left, 0-2. Find a way to put the ball in play and give your team a lead.
RBI for Colin Evans, picking up his 21st, make it 22nd. He got one yesterday, 22nd RBI of the year. Here's Neighbors up now. Dylan struck out looking at a pitch he was not happy about. He's got a chance with runners at second and third. He had a double yesterday that bounced over the wall in left center. This one he fouls to the screen, and it's 0-1. Ivans now come in to run for Howe at second base.
Yeah, and this is how you start to chip away at the opposing team's will. Just don't go away. Come back. Every time they try to put you away or get ahead, just keep chipping away.
Grinding, just grinding.
That's right.
Here's the 0-1. Pitch from Ivy. Fastball misses just off the plate, about a baseball wide.
It's like playing a tennis player that you have better stuff than. It's like a wall. They just keep sending it back to you.
1 ball, 1 strike. First base open here.
Or I guess pickleball now.
Yeah, right. Breaking ball, that one in there for a strike. And boy, Neighbors again barking about not being happy. Takes a long walk out. I don't know if he thought he struck out or not. He may have the way he reacted. He walked way out of the box.
I don't want to offend any viewers, Chuck, but if you ever see me on a pickleball court, it's over. End it right there for me, okay?
Neighbors takes the timeout now. Trying to slow down Ivy.
I've given up.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Lifted foul. We'll do it again.
No surprise there. Do we have total strikeout numbers for Leopards hitters this year, or percentage-wise? I'm just curious where we stand on a K rate. Doesn't seem like they go down swinging much.
They've struck out 105 times all year. Fastball.
Got
him on the arm. And Neighbors, and they say got him on the arm. That's going to be got him on the sleeve, basically. And Ivy's not happy now. And here comes Coach Hellman. And the Gunter squad has gone from being happy to start this inning to them all being a bit frustrated. It really started when Pipes moved his way down to second base on a ball that the whole infield didn't talk. And since then, it's all kind of unwound a little bit. So bases are loaded as Neighbors gets hit by a pitch, and it's Gabe Jarvis's turn.
Hey, we've got to give Neighbors some credit for the swag, the bat toss on a bat flip on the hit by pitch. I love it. He slung that almost to Coach Fowler.
Runners got to get back to their bases now as this timeout comes to an end. So what we've got is Eli sitting at third base. Zyvan's at second. Dillon's over at first. And here's Gabe Jarvis. Gabe grounded out to third first time up. First pitch swinging at a fastball. He misses for strike 1. May have got a piece of it, but into the catcher's glove. No balls and 1 strike.
And on top of getting the lead back, we've run the pitch count from 20 to 50 this inning.
Yeah, that's a great point. No balls and 1 strike. Breaking ball for a strike, and that's just nasty stuff. If you're Jarvis, especially with a left-hander throwing it, it's coming at you and then it goes away. No balls, 2 strikes. See what Gabe's got on the 0-2. Fouls it back. He'll stay alive.
Expect nothing less of a Leopard hitter right now, 0-2.
Here we go. Battle here, son.
This is the 8th Leopard to go to the plate in this 3rd inning. 0-2. Down low. Oh, did it get him? Wait. Oh, they say he went around.
Not even going to check.
Jarvis, I said he went around. Home plate said he went around. That's all she wrote. Well, they go 8 to the plate. Leopards pick up 2 runs in the inning. They get that courtesy of 2 hits. There was 1 error, and the bases left loaded. We're through 3 full innings. Liberty-Eylau 3, Gunter 2. We'll come back for the top of the 4th in 60 seconds here on 107.1 and Texarkana Game Day.
All right, welcome back. Farmers, Bank and Trust, Langford Roofing, Los Ruvalcaba, and Texline Card House here.
At stroke.org.
We're back here for the top of the 4th, and you can probably hear the radio elevator music we got to have piped in just to help me and Chuck make this work seamlessly.
All righty, well, we're back. Top of the 4th. Liberty-Eylau with a 3-2 lead here in Game 2 of this Class 3A Region 2 Final Series. You get a win if you're Liberty-Eylau. You worry about where am I playing next week against either Holiday or Iowa Park. If you lose, you got to play Game 3 today. That'll happen 30 minutes after this one comes to an end.
Let's don't even speak that into existence. The possibility, Chuck. We're leaving early.
All of the Division 2 series except one are already done. In Division 2, Orange Grove in Region 4, Thrall in Region 3, Boyd, who we would have seen had there not been a last game weirdness happen in their district. Out of District 10, they're in Region 2, and they're waiting for the fourth team coming out of Region 1, either Wall or Jackboro. Nobody's decided yet in Division 1. They're all playing games 2 and 3 today. First pitch fouled out of play by Jackson Wagner. Wagner grounded out to short his first time up. Huntington and Whitney playing in Region 3, with Huntington winning the first game. Falfurrias lost to London, first game in Region 4. No balls and one strike. Tristan Howe back to work as this one fouled out again by Jackson Wagner. Now remember, we're talking pitch counts. Tristan's up to 43. He burned 19 yesterday, so you look at the 43 and actually make it 62. This one ground ball towards second. Moore's got it. His throw on the money, and there's the first out. Maddox, a week ago, or 2 weeks ago? I guess it was 2 weeks ago, had something to the tune of about 70 pitches left that he could throw, and came out in a game 2 and won a complete game victory in 67 pitches. First pitch, inside ball 1 to Carson Williams, the catcher, who walked and scored the first run of the game for the Gunter Tigers. Fastball, this one hit in the air and over the head of Moore into center for a base hit. He's kind of swinging the same bat as Tristan Howe. Williams now with a couple of hits and a couple of walks in his, 4 or 5 official at-bats over the 2 days.
And you got to give credit to Tristan. You know, it takes something to be able to go home and sleep on a performance, not having it, and then just come back and block it out of your mind and bring the good stuff the very next day. I'm impressed.
Blake Boland, who doubled over Colin Evans' head back in the second, and that
was a ball?
Called a ball. And now the Leopard fans are going from being agitated to being irate.
I might have to turn my crowd mic off for a minute if you keep the strike going.
Yeah, hard ball. Oh, gloved by Pipes. He'll flip it to Moore for one. Relay not quite in time.
Wow.
But what a play by Pipes, who at least saved 1 out in this inning, and maybe runners at first and second at the least, second and third at the most. Instead, there's 2 away with a runner at first base, and there's your defensive play of the game so far for Liberty-Eylau.
Go get it, young man. Can pick it at shortstop. Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
So there's 2 away, and here's Braden Nelson. Nelson looks at a first pitch, and that one out of the zone for ball 1.
Can you tell, is that a changeup or a little breaker of some kind?
It looked like a breaker. 1 ball, no strikes. He grounded out first time up. Fastball misses a little wide, 2-0. 1 man on, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Leopards up 3-2. Missing, obviously, that time, 3-0, and Howe pats the chest, my bad.
Yeah, and if you're the Gunter head coach, you 100% have to have the take sign on here to see if you can force this young man into a tough spot on the mound.
Yeah, and he gets a strike in there on the outside corner. Wasn't the obvious down the middle strike, but
we know how you feel about that.
Strike nonetheless. 3 balls, 1 strike. Ground ball foul, 3-2 as this one trickles toward the Leopard dugout on the third base side.
Is it safe to say you're on team 3-0 green light?
Yes, I am. Well, I mean, maybe not with the number 8 hitter, but I am with the number 2 hitter or 3 hitter, yeah. Here's the 3-2. Fastball.
Oh, he even thought it got him. The batter was ready to go.
Inside for a ball. Gunter crowd claps. Leopard fans aghast. And we're back down to the bottom of the order. Parker Alamon now with runners at first and second.
In our shot, both the batter and the pitcher both had the shocked Pikachu look.
Right.
Wait, what just happened?
That's third walk now for Howe, who misses on the first pitch to Alamon on deck, the top of the order. This is a big spot for Tristan Howe, and we got an equipment issue for Gabe Jarvis.
And we are not suggesting the strike zone is poor. We're just merely telling you how the reaction of the players are going about the strike zone.
Yeah, one plate umpire following Gabe Jarvis and wanting to get a little water, I think, is what he's trying to do. Oh, baseballs, that's what he wants.
Oh, no, he's putting his contacts in.
Okay, well, when he comes up here and decides to throw out broadcasters, Frank, it was nice seeing you.
He won't see this till tomorrow. I'll be long gone. And on top of that, from Longview, I'll give you my address.
1 ball, no strikes.
Let's do it in the street.
To Parker Alamon. We're all set now. Umpire's got baseballs. Catcher's got his equipment right. See if Howe's got the strike zone. He does on that one. 1-1 the count now.
There it is.
Popped up in the air, out of play behind home plate, and it's a ball and 2 strikes now.
Come on, Tristan. 1 good pitch here. Let's get the team back in the dugout. Tack on a few more. I mean, good pitch is relative today, but you know what I mean, Mr. Howe.
Here's the pitch. Ground ball, foul, wide to third. And it's still a ball and 2 strikes. Alamon 0 for 2 yesterday. Grounded out to short today. And so far on the year, Alamon 264 hitter. Here's the 1-2. Ground ball towards short. Pipes backing up. Will throw to Maddox Moore at second. That's the inning. Yeah, they got out of a little bit of a jam here in the 4th. There were no runs a hit. No errors. 2 men left on base. Gunter's left on 4 through 4 innings. Leopards will come to bat bottom of the inning with a 3-2 lead when we come back 60 seconds from now on 107.1 and Texarkana Game Day.
Through every step of life, side by side. From the first checking account in high school to the first home or business loan, Diamond Bank is committed to helping you with all of your financial needs. Diamond Bank's growth is the result of the growth of our customers, and we want to help you feel that same growth. We are proud to have the ability to give back to our local school districts, community organizations, veterans, customers, and more in a multitude of ways. Come discover the Diamond Bank difference with local people making local decisions for our local community. Stop by our current location in Texarkana at 5714 Richmond Road or visit us online at www.diamond.bank to see our products and services. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Back. Chuck, Zach, Frank Sides along with you, coming to you from Nevada's Community High School, where Liberty-Eylau's got a 3-2 lead heading into the bottom of the 4th inning. Cade McLeod's going to lead things off. It'll be McLeod, Moore, and Taylor, 7, 8, 9 for the Leopards. On the mound still, Jake Ivey. He's gone the full way, so has Tristan Howe. First pitch, McLeod's got a base hit to right field, and the Leopards with a leadoff man for a second straight inning as Cade gets his first hit of this game and of this series.
First pitch swinging, fastball left up in the zone, drives it straight to right field. Leopards have a leadoff base runner here in the 4th.
All right, let's see what the strategy is going to call for. It looks like maybe we're going to get a runner to come out instead, as Ryland Blair is going to run for the DH's spot.
Good hit, Kate.
This is probably a move most of the time you wouldn't make, but I think the sense here about getting maybe one more run becomes very large the way these two pitchers are working. Blair a little bit better base runner than McLeod is. So here comes Maddox. Moore has singled and scored in his lone at bat today.
Another spot where I suspect Coach Fowler is going to be looking to bunt this runner over.
Moore got in the hole 0-2 before he got that base hit. But Blair just checking into the game, and Spivey's going to test him, or Ivy rather, is going to test him early with a throw over to first. Made Ryland dive in there. Fastball misses. A little exaggerated delivery that time from Jake Ivey.
No bunt.
Not yet.
Coach looks like he's changing something up there.
Third baseman way in. Another throw over to first, and again, Blair dives back in. I don't think Maddox may not be the best bunter on this team. I mean, he certainly can do it, and you're sacrificing here. You're not bunting for a base hit. Another throw over there. They are as concerned about Rylan Blair getting in the scoring position as we are talking about trying to get an extra run. By the way, fans here, everybody showed up. This place is packed on both sides. Gunter brought a good crowd. Liberty-Eylau has filled up their side of the stands. Pitch misses outside, 2-0 now.
Good job laying off of that one. Started out a strike, stayed a strike for quite a while. Just couldn't clip the bottom part of the zone. Moore's ahead 2-0.
Off goes Blair. Pitch is outside and just juggled a little bit by the catcher. Williams couldn't even get a throw out. So Blair gets in the scoring position. And the count runs 3-0 to Maddox Moore.
Yeah, you're obviously going to let him take the pitch here, and if not, then you have to consider bunting him to third base with less than 2 outs. But we'll see what happens here with the 3-0.
Aleman now is out of this play as he backs all the way up to third with a runner coming his way. It's first baseman's job now. Moore watches the pitch outside, ball 4. So Maddox is on for a second time today. Runners are at first and second with nobody out in the bottom of the fourth, and Arian Taylor comes to the plate.
Mentioned it earlier. I feel good about his quick hands with this left on right matchup. But here's the spot, Chuck. I don't know much about this young man's small ball ability, but again, you've got tons of options here if you're Coach Fowler, and he usually pulls the right strings.
First at bat, he hit that sky-high grounder, went way up in the air. Ivy back behind the mound where you could only throw him out. First base playing way in. Arian's going to show bunt, puts it down. It's a good one, third base side. He's going to run this out, and he'll be safe. Ball went off the fielder's glove. Coming in from third is Blair. Moore's going to hold up at second base, and the Leopards have a 4-2 lead. And the small ball forces the mistake. Ivy's throw high to the second baseman, Villagrana, trying to cover that thing. And Liberty-Eilau's picked up a run, and there's still nobody out in the inning.
Let's go Leopards. Again, it's in their DNA. They're just going to keep scrapping and fighting and find a way to put runs on the board one at a time. I love it.
So Taylor goes down to second base. Moore's at third. There's nobody out, and we roll back to the top of the order.
Bottom of the order gets you a run and leaves you 2 runners in scoring position with nobody on. Leopards have a chance for a big inning here.
I believe that was pitcher that fielded it, wasn't it?
It was.
I was going to say first baseman came charging in too, but I thought it was Ivy that got it and made the throw high. So here's Pipes, who's 1 for 2, single and a strikeout. He's also scored a run for LA. First pitch, he tried to check it and he made contact foul.
That was probably dropping into the strike zone. No harm, no foul there.
Leopards batted 8 last inning. They're already 3 on the bases here in the 4th inning with no outs. Here's the pitch to Pipes, the 0-1. Oh, he gets a strike call on that one, and it's no balls and 2 strikes.
How often do you see the guy that made the awesome defensive play the inning before come up in a big spot in the next half inning?
Pipes 3 for 7 in the series. This one to second base. They'll make the play at first only on a little... It's a grounder, actually. It looked for a second like that was a liner, but it actually hit the ground off the bat. And then fielded by Villagrana for the out. Runners cannot advance on that thing. It just didn't go far enough. So there's 1 away. And here's Eli Jarvis. He's reached on errors both times. First time by the pitcher, second by the third baseman. There have been 3 errors committed by...
Wouldn't mind a hat trick here.
Gunter here, and now they're bringing infield all the way in.
I love the pitcher steps off and Eli doesn't move. Like a statue ready to roll.
Breaking ball, called strike 1. Gunter trying desperately to keep the Leopards from getting any more here in the 4th.
Gunter was in this spot all day yesterday and couldn't find a way to kind of break the dam and get the runs flowing.
Here's the pitch. That one kind of crossed up Williams, it looked like, for a second. I think Williams came out of his crouch a little early, and that ball came in awkwardly. A ball and a strike. Arian Taylor's down at second. Maddox Moore's at third for LA. Already, Rylan Blair has scored in this inning. It started with a Cade McLeod single to right field. Moore walked. Taylor with that ball that was thrown away by the pitcher on a bunt attempt. This one, a high grounder that's chopped toward third base, and Ricky Rushing with the nice hands at the third base coach's box. Clean play.
I changed the camera before we got to see that. We don't need his confidence any higher.
Rushing played on the Leopards 06 and 07 teams that won one state and one lost in the final game. And this one's fouled off the handles. Of course, that team featured a couple of guys we're familiar with. One, Zach Fowler, the coach of the Leopards. The other, Will Middlebrooks, who played in the major leagues.
Got a World Series ring with Boston, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Probably watching today as well. If you're watching, what's up, Will?
Yeah,
Mr. Middlebrooks, I guess they call you Liberty-Eylau.
Yeah, his home run came with marrying Jenny. That's the home run. Pitch low and away, in the count 2-2 now.
Did he? Was he a Ranger for a year or two? I vaguely recall.
They've walked intentionally once already. May get to do it again. Let's see what they're going to decide. He has not made an out in this series. 4 for 4 yesterday, a triple in his at-bat today. They intentionally walked him in the third, and they're going to give it to him again. A second intentional walk for Howe. And so again, it's going to come down to Colin Evans with the bases loaded. Evans grounded out his last time up with the bases loaded, but he got a run in doing that. Ivan Banks going to come in to run for Howe, who's got to go back to the mound in the top of the 5th inning.
That's got to feel good for a high school hitter, man. They don't want any part of you. You've been just mopping them up. He's getting the they're treating him kind of like a couple of teams in the last couple of weeks should have treated Spencer Browning over at Pleasant Grove.
Here's the pitch to Evans. Strike outside corner. Yikes. No balls, 1 strike. Collins lined into a double play and grounded out, picking up an RBI. Back to normal depth for the Tiger infield.
I think with his speed, I may take a few steps in. Really quick down that first base line.
Ooh, almost got hit. Collins going to rethink what he just did. He went self-preservation first, which was to scoot back out of the way. If you can hold your spot long enough, you drive in a run.
In his defense, we're not the ones with a 90-mile-an-hour pitch coming to our kneecap.
I said self-preservation first. And then he looks at that one in there for a called strike on a breaking ball. That's the one, if he throws it at you, you'll take. The
Absolutely.
fastball, probably not. 1-2 the count, though. Leopards have picked up 1 run in this inning. They lead it 4-2. They got a chance for more. Evans fouls it back. They left the bases loaded in the 3rd. They've got them loaded here in the 4th. Neighbors is on deck if Evans can keep the inning alive. Moore's at 3rd. Taylor's at 2nd. Banks is at 1st. Here's the pitch, the 1-2 way outside. Catcher can't find the ball, but it doesn't go far enough away to be able to allow Moore to come in and score. And the count's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, that wind is just whipping out in that right field flag.
You can start to hear it a little bit on the crowd mic too, in case you wonder what that is. That's the wind.
2-2. Ivy up to 72 pitches now. This one hit in the air. Shortstop body having a little trouble with the wind, and Mixon barely over his head catch as the wind just kept taking that thing. And tell you what, he saved 2 or 3 runs by sticking that glove up there. Evans pops out to end the inning. Leopards pick up 1 run on 1 hit. There was an error and bases left loaded for a 2nd straight inning. 4-2 Liberty-Eylau with the lead. Top of the 5th when we come back here on 107.1 and Game Day.
Texarkana, when it comes to electricity, you do not want to strike out. That's why I trust the pros at Livewire Electrical Services. These guys are the real MVP. Voted Electricians of the Year 3 years in a row. Now that's a home run, baby. Need to upgrade your lighting to LED? Diagnose a breaker that won't stop tripping? Or add a portable generator connection? Livewire has you covered. Power problems? Call Livewire Electrical Services today. I know I do, because with these guys, you're always safe at home.
All right, welcome back. We've got a 4-2 ball game. Liberty-Eylau on top with the top of the order coming up for Gunter. Brock Body, who made the catch that probably saved his team's season just a few minutes ago, trying to deal with a pop-up in shallow left center field.
Yeah, and if for some reason Gunter comes back to win or make this competitive, the Leopards are going to look back at that half inning and probably wish they would have executed a little bit better. There was a chance for a huge one there.
Tristan Howe back on the mound now. Body's 1 for 2. Singled in the third inning.
Between this pitch, sorry, we'll tell you about Farmers Bank and Trust helping us bring this to you today. Thank you guys very much out there for what you do for Texarkana Game Day.
1 ball, 1 strike the count. Here's a pitch. Down low, 2-1. 4-2 Leopard lead. They've picked up a run in the first, 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth. Here's the pitch on the way. This one hit, and it's going to move a long way for Colin Evans to try to get to it, and he can't. It'll bounce up against the highest part of the wall. Evans drops the ball. His throw coming in is not going to be in time. A triple for Body. It almost looked like that was going to be a ball. Maybe Will Tipton was going to have a better chance to get just because the wind was pushing the ball toward him, but Colin just ran out of opportunity and time. The ball just kept going and going and going, and so Body leads off the fifth with a triple.
Yeah, without the wind, that's a bad luck out for Body, but because of the wind, Colin just couldn't get there. Made an awesome effort. Just couldn't get there, couldn't chase the wind. The wind was moving it faster than he could run.
And I really think Tipton thought that was a ball that was easy for Evans in his area and didn't really gauge the fact that the wind was all over the place. Body started to try to come home here on a pitch down low and decides about a third of the way, maybe I better not, and hits the brakes and turns around, goes back as Jordan Villagrana's in the box now. He's 0 for 2.
That would have been a brutal out. Probably a good decision to go back and let this at bat play out.
Well, he's got his coach in his ear right there, so I mean, if he goes, he's going with his love. Oh, this one hit high in the air, same place as the last one. This time it is Tipton that gets to it. It'll be a sacrifice fly. His Body's going to come in to make it a 4-3 ball game. But 2 well-hit balls here off Tristan Howe to lead off the fifth. They got a run, but he got 1 out of it. And now it's the number 3 hitter, Ivy, up. This is the top of inning 5.
I think we're in for a good one, Chuck.
Ivy walked and reached on a fielder's choice. Pitch outside, ball 1. That one misses and hit him to his foot. I think it did. Yep, Ivy's going to be directed down to first base as the fastball hit his foot, and Howe a little bit all over the place at the moment. Jarrett Wagner coming up. Tying run on first base for Gunter.
How many did Howe throw yesterday?
19.
I believe that says he's at 67, so getting close to that time where they got to start making a decision soon.
Misses away on the fastball. Wagner 0 for 2 with a couple of foul outs. 1 to first base, 1 to third base. That's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's a big batter right here for Tristan Howe. We're at the number 4 spot in the lineup.
Seeing him for the 3rd time as well.
And it's hit in the air to center. It's shallow. Going out is actually going to be Pipes. Pipes and Moore don't really communicate very well on that thing, but Pipes makes the catch in shallow center field.
Just A little bit taller.
And there's a second out of the inning, and Jackson Wagner's coming up. Wagner grounded out twice, once to short, once to second. Leopards need 7 more outs. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Wagner goes fishing after one up high for ball one. Or excuse me, strike one. Marion Taylor backing up a little bit over in right field. Pitch misses outside as he went off speed. 1 ball, 1 strike.
We don't have a look at either bullpen, so I doubt Leopards would have somebody warming up anyway. It's going to be someone on the field, but I think you get what I'm trying to say, Chuck.
2-1 the count now. By the way, Cam Doty back in running at first base for the pitcher. Here's a 2-1. Ground ball right to second base. Moore's got it, flipped to Pipes. Relay, I don't think they need it, do they? There was already 2 outs. They get a double play anyway. Let's get 4 outs in the inning. Gunter picks up 1 run, though. They do that on a leadoff triple and a sacrifice fly. And we'll go to the bottom of the 5th with Liberty-Eylau clinging to a 4-3 lead here on 107.1 and Game Day.
Nerf Wars, safe. Dodgeball, safe. Kickball, batting cages, and glow-in-the-dark parties, you're all safe here, baby. Looking for a birthday party that's anything but ordinary? Iconic Performance Center brings the fun to you. With 2 hours of high-energy activities, plus music and dancing, this will be the party they'll never forget. Book your iconic birthday party today at iconicperformancecenter.net or just call 903-293-9949.
Bottom of the 5th here at Nevada Community High School. Farmers Bank and Trust, thank you guys for helping us bring this to the masses. Tony Langford Roofing, Los Ruvalcaba with 2 locations, Texas Boulevard and 59, and the Tex Line Card House,
I get to say.
Again, Frank Sides and Chuck Zach bringing this one to you live here, the Regional Final Series, game number 2.
.org.
That's a wrap.
We return to Liberty-Eylau Leopards baseball on 107.1 KTFS.
Again, this is a joint broadcast. Chuck Zach in the radio with the Texarkana Game Day here.
All right, welcome back. 4-3 ball game. Jake Ivey back out on the mound here in the bottom of the 5th. Leopards have Neighbors, Jarvis, and McLeod scheduled to bat. Liberty-Eylau with 4 runs on 4 hits. They have left 6 on base, all of those in the last 2 innings. Gunter with 3 runs on 4 hits. They have left 5 on base. So we are getting down to crunch time. Dylan Neighbors, who's struck out and been hit by a pitch, will lead things off. Hits for the Leopards today. Pipes has a single. Howe has a triple. McLeod with a single. Moore with a single.
And back to the final out of the last inning. Scratch that. Never mind. It wasn't a double play.
Didn't need
Moving
it.
forward.
All right, here we start. Jake Ivey with 73 pitches already in the books. Throws number 74 for a called strike to Dylan Neighbors.
Good turnout at Pipes at second base regardless.
5 strikeouts for Ivey so far today. Breaking ball inside. Neighbors wants no ball or strike.
Both the catcher and the batter.
No, they're having a little discussion, the 3 of them, about where these pitches are. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Maybe they can't hear him because of the wind.
It's Ivey's pitch, way outside. No doubter that time. 2 balls and 1 strike. Ivey today has walked 1, 2, 3, but 2 of those were Howe intentionally. He's struck out 5. His team's committed 3 errors around him. He's committed 2 of them. That's a breaking ball for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Liberty-Eylau wanting to scratch back that run they gave up last half inning. Try to give Howe a little bit more of a margin for error. He's unofficially at 92 pitches after the 19 yesterday and the 73 today. Just off the plate. Now the Gunter crowd groans a little bit.
It's unlikely to come into play, Chuck, but at what point in the playoffs does the 10-run rule go away?
10-run rule?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it ever. I don't know if it ever does.
Okay, just wondering.
3-2 count. This one looped into the air. Right field's going to get down for a hit. It isn't the prettiest one, but Neighbors will take it. He's on for the second time today, and we've got a leadoff man on for Liberty-Eylau for a third time in a row.
Awful close to overrunning that one and having it bounce over his head and end up on third base for Neighbors. But
yeah, Braden Nelson came in real hard and then thought maybe not. We'll play safe rather than a little bit sad if this goes past me to the wall. So runner on first. Gabe Jarvis coming up. He's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. And now you start to wonder, is this the bunt spot? You would think so. Third base thinks so as Alamon comes into the green part of the turf. Lefty-lefty matchup. Sure enough, Jarvis shows bunt. Fastball outside, ball 1. Cloud and Moore, who each have hits today, would be next up. Liberty-Eylau with 5 hits now on the afternoon. 4-3 lead for the Leopards. Again, bunt shown. Again, pitch misses wide. 2-0. And they're really bunting him away to try to force that bunt down toward the third baseman, where Alamon has a chance to make a quick decision. It's been 2 straight breaking balls outside to the left-handed hitter. Shows bunt again. Outside again, ball 3. Well, cat and mouse takes another turn now. 3 balls and no strikes. Brock Body coming to talk to his pitcher for a second. It almost felt like Ivy's so worried about the bunt and making sure it's bunted toward third that he lost the strike zone. So with 3-0, your obligatory we're not going to swing opportunity comes up. Although you may have the best pitch you're going to have if you're Jarvis to be able to put a bunt down. On the 3-0, he turns, shows bunt. It's on the corner for a strike. And it's 3-1. I don't think Gabe ever had any intention of putting the bat out there. He just squared up anyway. Big pitch for Ivy now. 3 balls, 1 strike. Neighbors at first, and they're going to throw over that way. 3 balls, 1 strike. That runner at first looming very large in this game. Pitch to Jarvis. Ball 4. 4th walk for Jake Ivy. Leopards have runners at first and second now with McLeod up. And we're going to get a runner. Well, maybe we're going to get a runner. Let's say we're going to get a conference instead. We're definitely going to get a runner. I think Barry's going to run. All right, conferences all around. 1 on the mound for the Gunter Tigers. 1 with Zach Fowler and his batter and base runners. We're in a very significant part of this game. Bottom of the 5th, a 1-run Leopard lead. Gunter's getting the sense that Tristan Howe is going to run out of pitches soon. We got a chance if maybe we can get to the next guy, but we got to keep it close. Little do they know, the next guy is probably going to be Maddox Moore. All right, everybody heading to where they're supposed to be. Neighbors going to second, Barry to first. Cade McLeod, who singled and his spot scored a run back in the 4th inning. Leopards trying to extend the lead. Let's see how they're going to play this. First baseman in. It'll be his job, which means McLeod, if he's going to bunt, wants to bunt third base side. Shows bunt. Pitch in there for a strike. Well, I'll tell you what, by the time that ball crossed home plate, Jackson Wagner was practically on top of McLeod. If he has any chance to be able to swing the bat even anywhere toward the middle of the infield on the right side, it'll be a base hit and maybe extras.
Hurt somebody. He's crashing hard.
You do it again, same thing. Breaking ball, another strike. That's a tough pitch to bunt.
Yeah,
up in the zone breaking ball.
Now the Leopards need to do what the Leopards do. Find a way to get the bat on the ball with 2 strikes.
First baseman still not convinced as he's still in on the green. Pitch to McLeod. That one runs inside for ball one. Maddox Moore on deck. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cade McLeod. Abby taking a long look at second. Swing and a miss, and McLeod goes down on strikes. He couldn't get the bunt down on the first 2, and that's what set that at bat up for being a disaster. But there's 1 out now in the inning. And Maddox Moore coming up. Moore with a single, a run scored, and a walk. You still have that opportunity. If you're feeling bunty, you got a chance again. First base doing the same thing. He thinks Moore's going to put down the bunt. Maddox will show the bunt late, and the pitch misses. A little low and outside for ball one. Unlike Jarvis, who squared up before the pitcher even let go of it, Maddox waited till the last second before he showed it. Wagner at first, already getting ready to charge again. No bunt this time. Pitch comes inside, ball 2.
Pop that elbow out there.
And that's going to get Williams up to go see his pitcher for a second. I think the number, I can't tell if it's 80 or 90. I can't tell on that screen. 90. It is 90 on pitch count, thank you. Old eyes, and it's a long way away.
I'm pretty convinced if he loses more here, that's going to be it for him.
And they're all long ways away from the bag, and Ivy's stepping off just to check him and make him go back.
Wouldn't hate a balk call here.
Let's try again, see if Moore's going to bunt. Yep, shows it again. That one's a strike on the 2-0. Again, he showed bunt. I don't think he really had an intention of putting the bunt out there. And so it's 2 balls and 1 strike now. All right, Ivy set. Showing bunt again, then pulls it back and decides to take a swing and fouls it. Maddox being a little tricky with the bat.
And Chuck Zach was right. Never said that before. But
all right, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
On it.
Windy day. Nevada's Community High School. 4-3 Leopard lead. Got runners at first and second. 2-2 count to Maddox Moore. Bottom of the 5th. Pops this one back foul. Pitch a little bit up in the zone. Stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. Arian Taylor's on deck.
And the wind's depriving us of the cowbells that we've become accustomed to on the air.
You're feeling deprived, are you?
Yeah, I'd rather hear that than Gunter fans complain about the strike zone.
They're going to ask if he went around or not. The umpire says he did not. The runners took off running.
Oh, my.
And they advanced to second and third. Now, the first base umpire said he didn't swing.
He is upset.
And the home plate umpire said, I asked him at first. He said safe.
Oh, boy.
Umpire said, I gave him the appeal down to first base. He said he didn't go. So the runners move up to second and third on it.
The Gunter coach is literally about to explode.
Well, he got what he asked for. It's not the home plate umpire called it. He said, I asked. So it's a full count now on Moore, 3-2. First base is open. 1 out here in the inning. So double play off now. I say that. We lined into a double play earlier in the game with a runner at third. Moore takes a swing at one and again stays alive. Maddox with 2 strikes, doing a good job protecting the plate. A couple of those pitches looked close, maybe not perfect.
Shout out to Donovan at Phone Pros. If you got, for some reason, have to get your phone fixed, they've got the Leopard game playing there in the lobby. Go see them. Go see them anyway. What else you got to do today? It's just Saturday, Memorial Day weekend.
3-2. Here we go. Pitch to Moore. Ground ball, hard one. Foul ball.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Wow. And Dylan Neighbors, who was at third base, can't believe that was called foul. Fowler's coming out now. There, coaches are unhappy with everybody. The Gunter coach is unhappy with the first base umpire. The Leopards coach unhappy with the third base umpire. Fans are unhappy with the home plate umpire. I think the second base umpire may have been behind the plate yesterday. They all hated him too, so it's equal opportunity. So runners will go back to second and third. And Moore still got a 3-2 count.
Folks, I broadcast my day job in around the East Texas chapter, so it's no surprise for me.
Here's the 3-2, way outside ball 4, bases are loaded. You got to give Moore credit. He worked that at bat.
That's going to be it.
After trying to put down the bunt and just could not get it down, Moore just worked that at bat. And Gunter's coach taking the walk to the mound. We got a lot on the line here as he's about to make a decision that's going to change the game for Jake Ivey. We're going to get a runner to come in for Moore. Again, Maddox is dealing with pneumonia. Remember that. Any opportunity to not make him run, the Leopards are going to take. They'll bring Dalen Garton out to run for Maddox at first.
And you got to give that young man his flowers. I'm talking the biggest spot of the year, hasn't started much. Did a really good job with a #1 team in the state, held them to 4 runs, got a chance, kept his team in the game, kept their season alive. So we'll see what the young man on the mound has to offer. But in the meantime, I think we're going to tell you one more time about this is for the Texarkana Game Day viewers, our sponsors for today's game in the regional final series, Farmers Bank and Trust, Tony Langford Roofing, Los Ruvalcaba with 2 locations on Texas Boulevard out on 59, and the Tex Line Card House. We really, really, really appreciate you guys going out on the limb and helping us bring this series to the masses. Go let them folks know how much you appreciate it, and hopefully they'll be on board next week if we can get there. And if you'd like to participate, reach out to Morgan. The email address is on the page. Call somebody that you know at game day. Call Chuck. Call into his radio.
Me?
Call into his radio show. I'm joking.
You can call me. I'm not going to answer the phone. I'm just telling you right now. All right, so we'll do this. Jake Ivey's day's done at the mound. He went 4 1/3 innings, 4 runs, 5 hits, 5 walks, 6 strikeouts. He is responsible for all 3 guys on base. Jarrett Wagner, who we thought might be the Game 2 starter, is going to come in from center field. He will go to the mound. So we're going to get his first relief appearance of the season. Yeah, I take that back. He actually had a couple early. He's a guy with 12 starts. This will be his 4th relief appearance. He's gone 60 innings, 37 hits, 23 runs, 16 earned, 24 walks, and 88 strikeouts. His earned run average is 184. He's 12-0 on the year.
Season on the line. Late in Game 2, down 1-0 in the series. You've got no choice here, Chuck.
So they made some switches defensively as well. Ivey has gone to first base where he was playing yesterday, and it's Arian Taylor that's coming to the plate.
Calls time. The biggest spot of his young career early, Chuck.
And I believe they moved Jackson Wagner out into left field, and the left fielder Easton Overman moved to center.
Taylor here's got a chance to just drive a stake right through the hearts of these Gunter fans.
All right, so new pitch counts for Wagner. Insignificant because if there is indeed a Game 3, the Leopard's going to try to drag some out of him, and just in case, first pitch way outside as the lefty misses wide with the breaking ball. He has no room for error with the bases loaded. Arian Taylor with a ground out, and he reached on an error by the pitcher. Fastball low, 2-0.
Ahead. Big-time hitters count, big-time hitter spot. There's nowhere to put him. This ball is going to have to be grooved, and Chuck, if this young man can get his hands through the zone and not be late.
Taylor with the Leopard solo home run of the season. He had one against Tatum in the first game of that series. That's in there for a called strike. It's the only home run the Leopards have hit in 2025. He's got the wind blowing at his back if he can lift one to left. 2 balls and 1 strike. And that's going to be a timeout as Taylor steps off.
There's a Little League baseball game going on about 500 feet to left. Let's just hope he doesn't hurt anybody.
Neighbors is at third. Pitch down low. Neighbors gets back to the bag at third. Did not get far enough away from Williams. So we got runner at third in Neighbors. Runner at second is Barry. Runner at first is, I believe it's Gartner. Did Maddox stay in the game? I can't tell if that's a 4 or 11. It's 11. Garton is in the game at first. Dalen's running there. So it's 3 balls and 1 strike to Arian Taylor. And he checked the swing, and I think that was going to be a strike on the outside corner. He didn't get a full swing. He started a check, and I think he thought it may have been a little wide, but got the bat in the zone, and the ball makes contact, and now the count's full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 5th, Leopards 4-3 lead. Pitch inside, ball 4. They're going to pick up another run. Making sure everybody's making sure that was the call. You wonder why is Dylan Neighbors not going home? We had an at-bat earlier this year, I think it may have been a decab, where we thought there was a thing. The umpire actually called a thing, and we got a runner picked off base thinking it was a ball 4. So they waited on it. Base on balls, let's Neighbors score, and it's now a 2-run lead again. 5-3, back to Pipes in the top of the order. Pitch, breaking ball, catches the outside for strike 1. Pipes 1 for 3 today.
Man, the bottom of the order for this Leopards team has done an incredible job here in game 2. Just men on the base all night for the top of the order.
Bases loaded for a 3rd straight inning for LE. Pitch misses, high ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is reminiscent of what Gunter did in the first 3 innings yesterday. Bases loaded, got just 2 runs out of it in those 3 innings. Leopards have already scored 4 runs in these 3 innings of having the bases loaded. Pipes looks at a fastball for a called strike.
That fastball of his looked like it has a little bit of cut action to it, so it's going to be deceiving the first time you've seen it. Now we know.
1-2 the count. 1 out here in the 5th.
Wind harder than it's blown all day. Flag's going to come off the pole in a minute.
Here's the pitch. Ooh, breaking ball stays up. He didn't get on top of that well, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes to Pipes now.
Yeah, that's one of those cement spinners that stays over the plate. It's a crooked number.
Pitch to Pipes. That one spun out. 3-2. Yeah, we got another full count and another chance for a Leopard to pick up an RBI. By the way, Taylor got one on that base on balls just a minute ago. Here's the 3-2 to Britton. Hits this one. It'll drop into right center. 1 run scores. Second one's going to be coming around. Taylor's going to pull up at third base, and the Leopards take another 2 runs onto the board to make it a 7-3 lead. Britton Pipes with a 2-run single to extend the lead even more.
Wow, wow, wow. Got to give the credit to the bottom of the order. Put so much pressure on this young man, and the top of the order finally making him pay. Unbelievable.
Eli Jarvis to the plate now. Leopards with a 7-3 lead.
And just looking down below us and hearing what we've hearing, you can kind of start to see the wind coming out of the Gunter fans' sails.
Yeah. Eli Jarvis can knock it out even more.
Starting to feel real now.
Pitch is in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jarvis 0 for 3 today, but he's reached on errors in the 1st and 3rd inning, struck out in the 4th. All of this, those runs, by the way, all were credited to starter Jake Ivey, who's given up all 7. Bunt attempt, and boy, that one hit Jarvis. He's going to go down to first base, and we're going to load him up.
Oh, boy.
Now the Leopard fans
where to
are
put him now, Chuck.
feeling it right now as Tristan Howe comes up. He's tripled and been walked intentionally, and your point's exactly right. Because of those last two at-bats, they pointed to first base and put him on. Now they've got to pitch to him.
Oh, man. Hottest hitter in the state right now in the biggest spot of the season for the Leopards. If he can get into one here, Chuck, we can cue the fat lady.
Howe's been on base 7 consecutive times in this series.
I don't know if that's offensive anymore. You know what I'm saying.
Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 1. Taylor's at third, Pipes at second, Jarvis at first. Leopards already have put 3 across here in the bottom of the 5th. They got a chance for more. Ground ball foul, third base side, rushing again with the good barehanded grab.
Fundamental Leopard defense.
All right, ball and a strike to Howe.
Howe with a chance to put this baby to bed officially here.
8th batter in the inning. They batted 8 in the 3rd, 7 in the 4th, 8 here in the 5th. Missing with the pitch, 2-1.
Now he's seen every offering this young man has. I expect Tristan to hit something hard somewhere. Let's just hope there's nobody standing there where it goes.
2-1 count. Wagner ground ball towards second. They'll get one. Howe trying to get there in time. Can't. It'll be a double play. 4-6-3 variety to end the inning. But Liberty-Eylau picks up 3 more runs in the 5th inning. They do that with just 2 hits. There were 3 walks and a hit batter, and the Leopards leave the bases loaded. So we'll go to the top of the 6th inning. Liberty-Eylau 7, Gunter 3. When we come back here on 107.1 and Game Day.
My name is Doug Willett. I own M&M Tire and Auto Center. We've been here for over 40 years. We're just a mom and pop place. We service any type of vehicle that you can think of. We do front end alignments. We've got the best front end alignment machine guys here. And we also do AC work for the new Freon, which is the 1234 FY. We do that too. Plus tires. Now that's the major thing. Cooper Tire employees, we're really special with them. We give you 15% off, plus also you get your Goodyear employee refunds back on your tires, which is great for you. Extra value is what you get when you buy from Doug Willett. Don't worry, my guys will take care of you too.
Top of the 6th inning. Liberty-Eylau 7, Gunter 3. We're down to the 6, 7, 8 hitters for the Tigers here in the top of the 6th. Carson Williams, who may as well be the leadoff guy. He's been on forever, it seems. He's 1 for 1 today with a walk and a run scored. Blake Bolin and Braden Nelson to follow. Tristan Howe trying to get his way through the 6th. And he misses with the first couple. 2 balls, no strikes.
Pitch 75 for Tristan.
Here we go.
And misses wide, 3-0. Base on balls. They're your enemy if you're a pitcher. Here's the 3-0. Make it 3-1.
Specifically against a ball club that's lost 2 games all season. Can't let them think they got a shot here.
Howe walked 4 in the first inning yesterday. He's only walked 3 today. This one hit in the air to left. Will Tipton going back, and he'll watch it go over the fence. I told you, Carson Williams has been red hot. Solo home run for Williams. That's his 3rd of the year, and it brings Gunter back to within 3.
He turned on that one. I don't know that it needed the win, but it's a 7-4 game now. He hit that hard.
That's all. Zach Fowler says that's it. Time to make the change. So we're going to get a pitching change for the Leopards here with nobody out in the top of the 6th inning.
Tristan comes out to a well-deserved and earned applause from the LE faithful, man. After yesterday's start, he comes out and holds the number 3 team in the state to 4 earned.
You kind of think he's going to get a glove here and get back in the infield. Sure enough, here he comes. And it'll be Maddox Moore. They're going to ask to close this thing out. He's going to have to get 6 outs before Gunter picks up 3 or more runs. So we'll close the book on Tristan Howe. He went 5 full innings. Gave up 4 runs today. That hit was 5 hits. Walked 3. Did not have a strikeout today. Kept the ball, for the most part, where his infield especially had a chance to make plays, and the Leopards are pretty solid defensively. And so he goes out with a chance to pick up the win. He cannot take the loss. And he gives way to Maddox Moore. Moore, this will be appearance number 19 for Maddox. This is his 12th relief appearance. He's got a 9-0 record. 62 innings pitched, 45 hits, 21 runs, 11 of them earned, 17 walks, 47 strikeouts. He does have a team-high 8 hit batters. He's got a 1.24 earned run average, and they're going to ask Maddox to finish this thing off. And in this case, this actually is a save opportunity for Moore, who's got a couple of saves this year. Now, we mentioned a couple times this weekend, Maddox has been battling really since the playoffs started. Most of these Leopards have been passing around germs, apparently. Dylan Neighbors has been sick since the playoffs started. Maddox has been sick since the playoffs began, but he got bad the last week or so. He ended up with pneumonia, and he's been running an antibiotic, and so they're trying to get him to hopefully only have to throw 2 innings and not have to come back and throw a complete game in a 3rd game. So the measured chance from Zach Fowler is, let's see if we can't get 6 outs from Maddox and end this weekend so he does not have to come out and try to throw a complete game.
So what you're saying is we're getting the Jordan Flu series from the Leopards.
Well, we're getting something. First pitch up high. It's Blake Boland up now. And that pitch in there for a strike. Maddox had a 67-pitch performance, a shutout that closed out the Tatum series a couple of weeks ago. Ground ball up the middle. It bounces off the mound and into center field. And so Boland's on with a base hit. And the Gunter crowd, which was very quiet about 15 minutes ago, is starting to murmur a little bit on the first base side. Here's Braden Nelson. Nelson 0 for 1 with a ground out and a walk. By the way, Boland's got 2 hits today, a double and a home run. Excuse me, a double and a single. He'll be the runner at first. Parker Aleman's the on-deck hitter, down at 8 and 9 for Gunter. Pitch a little low inside, ball 1. Leopards up 7-4 here in the top of the 6th. Popped in the air. This is going out to left center. Long run for Evans, and he'll get underneath that and make the play. After a long, long run, but it's the first out of the inning. Colin had a ball drift on him earlier in this game that ended up being a triple from Brock Body, who's now the on-deck hitter as Aleman comes to the plate with 1 away.
Yeah, we've not seen a fly ball here today that wasn't tricky. Problems all over the place.
Well, that home run wasn't tricky. That was pretty easy.
Yeah. In hindsight, he could have stayed there, huh?
All right, 1 away. Here's Aleman. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs. And Maddox starts him off with a strike on the outside part of the plate. Fastball misses. Jarvis couldn't handle it, and the runner's going to get down to second base. Didn't talk much about the catchers today. As hot as it is outside, you're wearing that gear all day, dealing with a much higher temperature on that turf, certainly even than the fans are in the stands, or worse, than the broadcasters are in the press box, where it's a balmy 65-ish degrees. Only hot air has been Frank today. Can't talk. You got food in your mouth. That's it. Free shots. All right, Aleman ready. Here's the pitch. Runner at second base, and Moore misses high. 2-1 the count.
I'll speak for the Nevada Community High School crew over here. If you guys are looking for somewhere to play a state semifinal match next week, call them. They want to work next Saturday and Friday. These are awesome facilities. They're really helpful.
You're about to get punched in the face a number of times.
They're enjoying this on their Saturday.
3-1 the count. Moore misses. Oh, no, he got the outside corner with that one. Aleman thought he missed and had about 4 steps toward first base. And honestly, that pitch looked a little wide.
All jokes aside, folks, this place is awesome. They've been super accommodating. And make a visit here to Nevada. More than cornfields.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Ball hit in the air again. Long run, Evans again. He can't get there again. It's going to bounce against the wall. Run comes in to score. Aleman stops at second base. It's a 2-run game.
They're starting to believe a little bit here, Chuck. Starting to believe a little.
Number 9 hitter doubles that one deep to the wall. We ought to just put somebody at that gap at left center field, because that's where just about every ball that's been hit in the air has gone today.
They didn't ban that shift. I wonder what it looked like. They have 4 outfielders out there. But you're right. Now that I think about it,
every ball's been
out in the right fielder. He's not fielded a ball today.
No, everything's gone to that left center field corner where the wall kind of comes together. All right, well, it's back to the top of the order. Tying run at the plate, and Brock Body. He hits one in the air. This is going to slice out of play, though. Long run by Neighbors, but he has no chance at that ball, and it's strike 1. There's 1 out here in the inning. 7-5 game. Well, it's never easy. If you're a Leopard fan, you get that. If you're at home, you're stressing. If you're at the park, you're watching, you're stressing. You get ready for this week, you're stressing. They tend to try the nerves, if nothing else.
Yeah, and it was never going to be easy. We're talking about the number 2 or 3 ranked team in the state based on who you ask. They weren't going away without a fight. We knew that. A long way to go here. A lot of baseball left.
Yep. Brock Body
hit again.
Singled, tripled, and grounded out. And he's going to hit this one to center. And this time Evans way deep, and it's going to bounce in front of him. Throw coming in. They'll cut it off, and runners are going to be at second and third. And they're still just 1 away. And now Body's got 3 hits today.
Now, for the first time in a couple innings, we're a single away from a tie ball game. Tying run out at second now.
They're running Colin Evans into the ground. He's had the home run. Really, he didn't have to run after that one. But the double took him deep to the corner. The sacrifice fly took him deep. And now that one picks him shallow. He has to come running in. And Zach Fowler's going to talk to the infield. He's got runners at second and third. Body alertly moved into second base as the throw came in. So they've had a home run, 2 singles, and a double here in this 6th inning. They're still just 1 away. And the double play is out now, of course, with the runner smartly moving to second base. And here's Jordan Villagrana up. Villagrana with a sacrifice fly. And fielder's choice and a ground out. Leopard still, those last outs are the hard ones. You got 5 more you got to get. Jake Ivey waiting on deck. We know he's got big power. Pitch in there for a called strike, inside corner. 0-1 to Villagrana. Moore, the right-hander. Full windup. Misses again. Pitch goes all the way through Jarvis back to the backstop, and it's a 1-run game.
And the tying run is the third base with less than 2 outs. So it's going to take a little bit more than just a little. It's going to take a sac fly. I couldn't get it out.
Counts 1-1 to Villagrana now.
I drank some Gatorade.
Moore struggling since he's come in. He came in after the home run. Leopard infield going to play in now to try to cut off the run from third. That one fouled, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. And boy, Maddox could use a strikeout in the worst way.
Absolutely. If we can get to 2 outs, then we can quit worrying about that runner in third base and just focus on getting back to the dugout with a lead. At this point, that's a win.
Junior right-hander. Eyeing in at Villagrana. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This one lifted in the air. That wind may be problematic. In foul territory, Jarvis over his shoulder will make the catch for the second out and run the ball back in. Body just looked at it, thought about it, but it was not deep enough for Body to be able to try to tag up and score in foul territory. So the second out happens on that foul out down the right field line, and there's 2 away.
And on the broadcast, I'm not sure you could tell where the difficulty level was on that. That was a fantastic play. And if you drop that, it falls into fair territory.
So here's Jake Ivey. Ivey with a walk. He's reached on a fielder's choice. Been hit by a pitch. Yesterday, Ivey 1 for 2 with 2 walks. So he's been on base almost as much as Howe.
Some speed out third. Chuck, I'm surprised they didn't send the runner there.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Beat you with a throw.
Oh, I see. They put him on. They put Ivey on intentionally. That's what they've done. So we're going to play the intentional walk game. He gets 1. Runners at first and second. They're going to go back to Wagner and deal with him instead. Wagner 0 for 3. Pitch way up high. Ball and a strike now to Wagner. Wagner in the series 0 for 6. Evans is back, way back in center field. Moore's pitch, ground ball foul. 1-2 the count.
Monumentally large pitch coming here.
Eighth batter in the inning for Gunter. They've got 2 on. 2 runs, 3 runs have already scored in this inning. Ball hit up in the air, playable. It'll be Jarvis who will make the play in foul territory, and Moore gets out of it, allowing a couple of runs. Gunter picks up 3 runs in the inning. They got 4 hits. They left 2 men on base, and the Leopards cling to a 7-6 lead as we'll go to the bottom of the 6th when we come back in 60 seconds here on 107.1 and on Game Day.
Hi, I'm Jay Strickland, 2nd generation master electrician. This is our team here at Livewire Electrical Services. Your safety is our top priority. That's why with every service call, we do a visual safety inspection for our customers, because small things can turn into big problems if left unchecked. We also offer a safety and savings membership plan, which gives you priority booking service, discounts, and an annual safety inspection of your home to make sure your home is protected year-round. We're proud to have been voted Best Electrician in Texarkana for the last 3 years by the Reader's Vault magazine. We have a 4.9 Google rating with over 270 5-star reviews because Texarkana trusts us to get the job done right. So give us a call today and experience the difference, because your home safety starts with us.
All right, we're back. Real quick, sponsors: Farmers Bank and Trust, Tony Langford Roofing, Los Ruvalcaba, over with 2 locations, Texas Boulevard and 59, and the text line Card House.
All righty, we are back.
Liberty-Eylau Leopards baseball on 107.
Bottom of the 6th inning. 7-6 ball game. It ain't easy. You want to go to state? You got to win games like this. This has been a great ball game. Gunter, number 3 team in the state. Leopards, number 1 team in the state in 3A, and it has been a slugfest so far. They have dealt with wind. They have dealt with pitchers that had struggles with the strike zone, umpires that they didn't like, and this has become a classic ball game. Colin Evans to lead things off for Liberty-Eylau here in the 6th. Neighbors and Gabe Jarvis to follow. It's the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. And Colin going to try to bunt to get on, and it'll be foul. And he'll have to go back. Just in case you're wondering, Leopard fans, they're to their 5, 6, 7 hitters for the 7th inning. So you avoid the top 4 guys in the order for Gunter when you look at the top of the 7th inning.
And as frustrating as the last half inning was for your Leopards, you got to think if before this one started you told Coach Fowler, look, you're going to see their two best starters, you're going to have a one-run lead in the bottom of the sixth. Do you take it right now? They say yes.
Colin Evans, this time he will swing at one, gets it into left center for a leadoff base hit. Leopards for 4 straight innings now have led this game off, or led the inning off with a hit.
That was a great swing. Served it right over the shortstop's head. Wind helped it curl towards the left center field gap, and he thought about making that turn, but you can't give away an out on the bases here, Chuck.
4 straight innings with a leadoff single. Moore in the 3rd, McLeod in the 4th, Neighbors in the 5th, and now Evans in the 6th. And here comes Dillon to the plate. Dillon strikeout, hit by a pitch, and singled and scored a run. He shows bunt. Pitch called strike, and there goes. Leopard fans continue their umpire assistance program. And it's no balls and 1 strike. Colin, the runner at first. Jarrett Wagner on the mound for Gunter. He is the second pitcher of the day. Jake Ivey started. Went 4 1/3 innings. 4 1/3 innings. Gave up the 7 runs that are on the board. Pitch called strike. Off goes Evans, and he stumbles and doesn't get to the bag cleanly and gets tagged out trying to steal.
Got a good jump. I thought he was there easy, but like you said, he just tried to slide a little early and stumbled.
And so instead of having a runner at second and a chance to expand the lead, there's an out at second base, and count now 1 ball, 2 strikes as a pitch misses to Neighbors. They desperately wanted that runner at second. They tried to bunt him the first time and then tried to steal it, and Williams threw him out. Pitch misses wide for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now those first 3 innings of leadoff singles I mentioned, all of those guys scored. This one does not. That's strike 3 as he got a bender, and Neighbors again unhappy. He's been unhappy all game about pitches he thought were balls that were called strikes. He had the same reaction in the first or second inning when he struck out looking. So there's 2 away now for Gabe Jarvis. Momentum shifting. Ellie was hoping to get a run back here in this inning and stem the tide. Jarvis swings and misses. Gabe 0 for 2 with a walk, and his spot had a run scored. That's strike 2, another breaking ball.
Starting to lock in at the right time on the mound. Leopards behind 0-2 again.
Ground ball, this one towards second. Villagrana with it. Throw in time. We're going to go back for the top of the 7th inning. Leopards trying to close this thing out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. Well, it's up to Maddox Moore in the defense. 1 run lead, 7-6. Top of the 7th coming up when we come back here on 107.1 and Texarkana Game Day.
Hello, Texarkana. This is Ben Watts with Texline Card House. We would like to invite you down to play some cards and meet some new friends here on Gibson Lane. We are right next to the door to Lost Pizza. We're excited to announce our Southern Stack tournament that will run from July 30th to August 3rd. We have free rolls, no limit hold'em cash, pot limit Omaha cash. We have 5K guarantees and 1K guarantees. You name it, we got it. We'd love to see you come out and see us at Texline. We are the best little poker house in Texas. Hello, Texarkana. This is Ben Watts with Texline Card House. We would like to invite you down to play some cards and meet some new friends here on Gibson Lane. We are right next to the door to Lost Pizza. We're excited to announce our Southern Stack tournament that will run from July 30th to August 3rd. We have free rolls, no limit hold'em cash, pot limit Omaha cash. We have 5K guarantees and 1K guarantees. You name it, we got it. We'd love to see you come out and see us at Texline. We are the best little poker house in Texas.
Moore finishing up his warm-up tosses. As I'm watching him, I'm watching Colin Evans' cap go flying into left center field as he lost it in center. The wind has not stopped since we've gotten here today, and it took Evans' cap and just blew it about 15, 20 feet away from him.
It's played a pretty big role as well. A lot of balls that could have been caught weren't. A lot of plays that should have been made weren't. Specifically the throws over early, but I think the Leopards adapted. So here we go, Chuck. 3 outs away from the state semifinals.
It is Cam Doty that's going to lead things off. He actually came into the game for Jackson Wagner when they made the pitching change. So it's his first at bat, and the first pitch to him is down low for ball 1.
Someone didn't like that call.
No, apparently not. That one's strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Maddox Moore working his second inning. Hopefully he's loosened up and warmed up a little bit now. Ball hit hard. Will Tipton's over there. He'll make a kind of sort of jumping catch. And there's 1 away.
Man, it's hard to underestimate how important that first out is. You give them the leadoff base runner, it changes the entire complexion of the half inning.
Leopards looking to try to get themselves to the state semifinal for the 3rd consecutive year.
That is insane. Wild. They got a program churning over there at Liberty-Eylau.
Here is Carson Williams. He hit the home run to lead off the 6th inning. First pitch, strike 1. Moore delivering. Strike 2, changed him up a little bit. Went off speed, and the count's 0-2.
He's feeling it a little bit. Look at him on the mound, working fast, ready to go before the batter even considers getting back in the box.
There's the 0-2. Missed wide. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Hit your spot.
Set up outside. Williams took a look there. Got a piece of that to stay alive.
Good pitch. Good waste pitch.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
That one almost bounced in there, and he got him to swing at it.
Winner of this series gets either Iowa Park or Holiday. You're either getting the Eagles or Hawks. We got Tigers and Leopards. One-two pitch. Another foul. Williams doing a nice job staying alive here.
Well, we know we can beat Hawks. Let's face the Eagles.
Well, he beat the Tatum Eagles a couple weeks ago. Here's the pitch. Popped in the air. This is playable. Howe calling everybody off at shortstop. He'll back up a couple steps, and there's 2 away.
You can just feel the energy from the Leopard fans right now. This is awesome. What an atmosphere. And they showed out. Huge crowd from Texarkana.
Gunter down to its final out. Blake Boland, who's 2 for 3, a single and a double. Singled in the 6th inning. Scored a run in that inning. Moore, first pitch, hard hit, base hit in the left, tying run on. 3 for 4 day for the DH.
Not going down without a fight. Wouldn't expect any less from a ball club like this.
Yep, here's Braden Nelson, number 8 hitter. Nelson, a ground out, a walk, and a fly out to center. Maddox Moore, ground ball foul, third base dugout, strike 1.
We'll mention it again. Hopefully it won't be relevant, but right now the wind is blowing out to left as hard, if not harder, than it has all day long.
The 0-1, missing wide, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Look at that shot of the dugout. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Young man praying to the baseball gods
Here's
right
the
now.
1-1, down low, 2-1. Number 9 hitter Parker Aleman, who doubled his last time up, on deck. 2 balls, 1 strike. Moore steps off. Trying to get himself gathered. Can go a little too fast sometimes. Colin Evans playing dramatically into left center. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. Third base side, Neighbors to second base. Leopards win 7-6. Liberty-Eylau takes care of Gunter in a 2-game sweep. They're 8-0 in the playoffs, and Liberty-Eylau is advancing to the state semifinals next week for a chance to keep this season alive and back-to-back maybe a state championship for Texarkana. Unbelievable. Maddox Moore again coming onto the mound when you need him. He got tagged around a little bit in the 6th. Here in the 7th, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left on, and Gunter's season comes to an end, having not been able to beat the top-ranked Leopards in this series this weekend. Outstanding year. They end up 35-4, but will finish for a 5th straight year unable to win a state championship. And over those 5 years, they have either lost in the regional finals or the state semis every one of the 5 years. And they will fall short here as Liberty-Eylau finishes them off 7-6 in a nail-biter for the Cardiac Cats from Texarkana.
Series lived up to every single bit of the hype. Just unbelievably fun to watch. Leopards, I can't wait to see where we end up next weekend, and we'll see you there.
Tristan Howe gets the win. He improves to 9-2 on the year. Maddox Moore with the save, his 3rd of the year. Liberty-Eylau, tell you what, wasn't always easy, wasn't always pretty. Had a big lead, and that lead kind of evaporated, but Moore held on to it well enough for them to continue on with this season. They will get either Holiday or Iowa Park next week. We'll let you know as soon as we know. Zach Fowler's got to figure out how that series is going to end and then start negotiating where can we get the state semifinals, because it's not down in Round Rock like it normally would have been. You're going to play a series next weekend someplace. Tell you what, you going to keep the feed going for a minute, Frank, or are you done?
We probably need to start packing up. These folks ready to go to the lake.
Anyway, it's going to be hot all summer. We got all summer to get out to the lake. School's over. Frank's been great sitting in with you. We hope to do it again next weekend for the state semifinals. It's been an awesome, awesome playoff run so far for the Leopards. They have swept through all 4 opponents, and this one was the most difficult. The very proud and very good Gunter Tigers, but Gunter unable to put an L up for the Leopards, who just keep rolling. 1 loss since February 22nd. And one of those puzzling, how did you lose to DCAP 2-1 games? Other than that, they've been off, I believe it's now 33 of the last 34 games, and they're heading to take on the Region 1 champion next week for the state semifinals. For Frank Sides, I'm Chuck Zach. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in. You've been listening to a presentation of Liberty-Eylau Leopard Sports here on 107.1 and Texarkana Game Day. Have a great weekend. So long, everybody.